All right, welcome back. We're starting this edition of the SportsMax Zone with lacrosse. For 11 days, June 21 to July 1, San Diego, California was the host of the Lacrosse Men's World Championship, the most prestigious tournament the sport has to offer. The usual suspects, USA and Canada, finished first and second, but in the quarterfinals, Canada faced a team that was reaching heights it never had in the sport. Jamaica made it to that stage for the first time. Having gone undefeated up until that stage, Jamaica ultimately lost to Canada and then Israel in the 7th place playoff to finish 8th. This was a huge improvement on their previous effort in 2018 where they finished in 13th spot. That showing has now led this lacrosse team to become the first Jamaican team in any men's sport to be ranked in the top 10 of any global sport. They are now ranked at 8th. Joining us now to discuss the momentous achievement is President of the Jamaica Lacrosse Association, Calvert Hutchinson, who is right beside me, and the head coach of the team, Mark Wilson, who joins us on Zoom. Mr. President, I'm going to need your help in just describing the scale of the team's achievements at these World Championships.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me here, acknowledging the accomplishment of the development that has been taking place since 2013. The scale of this accomplishment is beyond our imagination. The world of lacrosse was taken by surprise based on our achievement. Personally, we knew that we had the talent pool to pull this off, and this was from our first ever participation in the 2018 World Championship in Netanya, Israel. And we had 8 of those players coming back for this year, along with some talented youngsters coming out of our player pool. So the entire world was taken by surprise, and we were extremely pleased because it did what we expected it to do, which is to put lacrosse on the forefront in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, and within the world.
Coach, just talk to me specifically in regards to how the team gelled and their mindset heading into each game, and that run in the preliminary stages that took the world by storm, really.
Yeah, well, as Calvert alluded to, we had a nice mixture of some veteran players that had a lot of experience. A couple of our players have played professionally, and many of them have played at the highest levels of college lacrosse. So putting those guys together with some talented players that are a little bit newer to the world stage, but had the ability to compete at that level, really worked out well for us, and the group came together, in a great way.
One youngster who was acclaimed really even by the international body, a 17-year-old by the name of Stone Evans. He's making waves in the United States at the high school level. I believe that he has 1 year left in high school. But talk to me about Stone Evans and his impact, what kind of player he is, and how far you see him going.
Oh, Stone's a great young player. He has all the talent. He works tremendously hard to be in great physical condition, and he's a super mature guy for his age who has some very high goals and aspirations for himself. He's already committed to play lacrosse at Air Force, which in itself is a big accomplishment. He really does. You don't even notice that he's a high school athlete or even a high school young man. He's in the locker room and in the huddles with all the maturity of our oldest, wisest players on the team.
Mr. President, of course, Stone would have been invited to the Under-21 Championship last year as a 16-year-old, obviously, and he would have made his name in that championship as well. How did that partnership come about? Was he the one who showed the interest to be a part of the Jamaica team?
Well, since we have been about, we know about Stone for a few years now. His father is close friends with Donnie Wilson, who came here back in 2014, who is a Jamaican as well, and he has always been working hard to play for Jamaica Lacrosse. So this was a part of his goals. To play for Jamaica Lacrosse. So we knew about him for some times now. So it was a no-brainer to get him involved in the program when the time presented itself.
Oh, he's a brilliant mind as well, isn't he?
He is. And the beauty about that, we have quite a number of young men just like Stone in our player pool.
Coach Wilson, I want to ask you this. Is there anything about the technicalities of lacrosse that you would describe as ideal for the general skill sets that Caribbean players would have in sports generally?
Absolutely. You know, lacrosse is a fast sport that requires, both hand dexterity and great foot agility. It also requires players to be quick thinkers on the field and decisive decision makers. So I feel like it fits really well with our culture. It requires a lot of creativity as well, in the moment. And I think that, athletes that have a lot of passion to play fast and aggressively, do really well with our sport. You also have to be disciplined, to play this sport. So all those things sort of fit really well, with our athletic culture.
Yeah. Obviously, though, it would rank as a minor sport in the Caribbean context. So with that in mind, how difficult has it been to get the kind of support nationally, support like from sporting agencies and government and so on in the private sector to help to build this lacrosse sport in Jamaica?
I mean, I'm certain Calvert can elaborate more, but what I can tell you is it's really just been a factor of us gaining awareness, because the more that people find out about us, find out about how much talent we have to be successful in this sport and see, what our players can do, then people are excited about it. But you're exactly correct. We're not well known yet. But we're hoping to continue, being successful on the field and build our notoriety, and then hopefully drive support from that direction.
Yeah, well, President, you can add to that, because this is your job.
Definitely. I want to first, sincere gratitude to the Sport Development Foundation, because those it might be small, we have always gotten support from them for all our World Championship. And even in more recent time, we have gotten support for them for local initiatives.
Yes.
The Jamaica Olympic Association has been mentoring myself and my board members in positioning ourselves to be successful on the world stage and locally. So Mr. Samuda has been a great mentor and support, and we have gotten a sponsorship from them for this World Championship. As it relates to corporate Jamaica, that has been the most difficult task for us to even get some sort of interest in supporting our players at these world events. And I just want to point out there that these events cost over like $18 million. We have the Under-19 World Championship coming up for next year, and that's over $20 million.
Wow.
And how we fund these events,
this is 20 million Jamaican?
20 million Jamaican dollars, about 200,000 US.
Yes.
So we have players who are asked to pay for themselves. And those who are in a position to pay a little extra, they do for those who are unable to pay. We have parents and family members of players who are in a position to assist, just like that soccer mom who helped the Reggae girls raise how much thousands US. We have some parents like that as well who come on board and assist.
Yeah.
But I strongly believe that for a national team that is representing a country at the highest level, we should at least get the type of interest, the funding that will be able to facilitate these players so they don't have to dig in their own pockets.
Yeah, well, you just said thanks to the JOA for the role they played with their President Christopher Samuda. You described him as a great mentor. Well, he went to Wolmer's, so Wolmer's and great, they go hand in hand. So let me go there. But Denzel Wilkes has been the head of the sports development for what he's stepping aside. He's resigning.
When I heard the news, I was a bit broken, but an outstanding individual. He understands the importance of the non-traditional sports. I appreciate where we are coming from and where we are at now, and we have always gotten support from the SDF.
Let's hope his successor will have the same position.
I hope so too.
Is it an elitist sport? Is it difficult to get the support because of the fact that it could be expensive? Because I remember when it first came about a decade ago, and Holy Trinity and Kingston College, they were almost like the feeder schools. And they pushed it, and there was such excitement around it. Why do you think it's so difficult to sell itself?
No, it's not. I don't think it's difficult to sell it. it's pretty easy to sell it
Okay.
to the schools and to the kids.
At the ground level?
At the ground level.
Right.
But to get the support from corporate Jamaica, from sponsors, that's where the problem is, right? And we have a model that has been working. We just need to find out a more effective way of getting used equipment into the country tax-free, duty-free, so we can distribute that to the schools that are coming on board. But one of the things that we do, other than just giving out equipment, we try to get a designated person from each of the schools that are on board to get them trained so that they can be effective in executing their expectations at the ground level within the schools.
So based on your conversations with sponsors, do you think that they view it as an elitist sport?
No.
Okay.
I think it's just a case where they don't recognize it because it's not one of those traditional sports.
Right.
And they have, and I can say this, we have reached out to a well-known sponsor who, pump a lot of money into track and field and champs, and we were told that all their sponsorship has already been pumped into
Of course.
that particular sport, so there's nothing for lacrosse.
The thing about it, though, for me is because I have noticed the rapid growth in lacrosse, and it's good that you say that it's been captured by the hearts of young people over a decade now, or just about a decade. Are you surprised by the almost meteoric rise, with the youngsters taking it on so quickly and adapting so well?
No, to be honest, I'm not surprised because I've been there since the start, and I can tell you, we used to beg kids to take a stick from us and to take a ball. And within 3 to 4 years of us starting, we saw the pride and joy that students had just walking with their sticks attached to their bags downtown Kingston in Halfway Tree.
They look different as well.
They look different.
Yeah.
And there was a clip in Teen Wolf, and there are that's a movie that a lot of kids watch, which made them even more excited and curious about the sport. So I'm not surprised in the interest that has been, outpouring. We just need that support, and I think we're going to get it now. And I want to make mention of some of the events that are coming after this. We have the first ever historic regional lacrosse sixes event that is going to take place in Jamaica. First time ever in the Caribbean, and this is
Lacrosse sixes.
Lacrosse sixes.
Okay.
This is the
November, is it?
November of this year, from the 9th to 11th. It's going to be at Michael University College and St. George's College, and we have 13 countries already confirmed to come, which equate to about 28 teams, male and female, at the senior level. And this is taking place in Jamaica. And I think this will bring another level of excitement and exposure for the game here.
I want to ask Coach Mark Wilson, before we get some more information on that tournament, because it's something going or something coming up which we would want to be a part of, and by way of coverage and building up the excitement for it here as SportsMax. But Coach Wilson, given the performance that we saw from the team in San Diego, I think we've already said how astonishing it was. The president just described it as beyond expectations, because I kept following the results and I saw victories over Germany, Poland, New Zealand, Switzerland. I said, what the hell is happening here? How is Jamaica beating these teams? Which of these wins would have been most satisfying for you?
I think it was really important for us to get off to a good start in the tournament. Germany has been ranked as high as 6th in the world, so they're a well-established program with veteran players. And, we got off to a great start, led by our attackman, Isaac Newland, who he had a bunch of goals early in that game and got us off to a great start. I think that was really important and set the tone. I know we're so excited and happy to have gone this far, but we honestly had a lot of pride and confidence in our ability to do this. Going back to 2018, Team Jamaica has not lost to a team ranked outside of the top 10. And we haven't been scored on. We haven't given up more than 10 goals to a team ranked outside of the top 7. So we know, based on our results, that we're a very competitive program with really high expectations for what we can do. All that being said, it was a lot of work to get it to that point. That Germany game was a huge, huge win. and then finishing it up by beating Italy to get into the Elite Eight was incredible. Given that they have a couple of active professional players on their team.
And President, thanks, Coach Wilson. But President, we've got to wrap this segment now, and I just wanted another comment about this November event, because I hear that international media is converging on the possibility of coverage and so on, which tells you how major it is.
Yeah, and I was just talking to the young man that I was, outside with, and I would love to have conversation with SportsMax about that event.
It starts here. Because the conversation has been had.
Well, very good. We have our own media partner, Next Level Sport Media, that we have a multi-year media deal with that goes up to 2028, but that is for Jamaica Lacrosse. This event is the Pan American Lacrosse Association, which is the regional body, and we're hosting on their behalf. So we have a clean slate to negotiate with a media partner for this event. So we're in communication with Next Level as well. We're in communication with ESPN, but we'd love to have a local partner for this event. So if we can start this conversation, then that will suit us well.
Oliver.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
You've done lacrosse commentary before?
I've never done lacrosse commentary before. I've done a couple of reports, but no, never lacrosse commentary. But it has been a pleasure, Mr. President. Thank you so much, and we're pleased with how the sport has progressed and how far they will go and grow. We're looking forward to that. And thank you so much for the coach as well for joining us, Coach Wilson. I know that you continue to do great things for the sport and for the national team in particular. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick break here. When we return, we have so much more to look forward to, including track and field and what's happening in the Bahamas, and in particular an athlete called Shawnee Miller-Weber. Stay with us.